Hi, my dear students. I am Sunira from Department of Physics, Government College, Madapalli. In this lecture, we will learn about conservation laws of angular momentum and charges. So, what is angular momentum conservation? So, all these things you learned in your degree, but we need it just for remembering all these conservation laws here. So, as the first of all, what is angular momentum? Angular momentum of a particle which is moving in a circle of radius r is given by L equal to mvr. L is the angular momentum vector, m represents mass of the particle, v is its velocity, and r is the radius of the circle. So you can see the diagram here. A particle m under circular motion along this path. The radius of the circle is given by small r. Then its angular momentum is along this direction. L equal to mvr. Okay. And the direction of the angular momentum vector is always perpendicular to the plane of the rotation. From this diagram itself, you can see that angular momentum vector is perpendicular to the plane of rotation. The f be the frequency of rotation. Then L can written as 2 pi f mr square, or I L equal to I omega. Omega is represented by 2 pi f. I is the moment of inertia, which is given by mr square. Okay. Now, if you want to find out the angular momentum of a system of particles, we have to vector some individual angular momentum or angular momentum of each particle. Okay. The magnitude of the angular momentum can be written as L is equal to I omega. Here I represent the moment of inertia of a body. But this moment of inertia varies with the shape of the body, the distribution of mass about the axis of rotation, and the mass of the body. Okay, so angular momentum is also depends on all these factors. Angular momenta of three bodies with mass m and radius r, but with differing shapes, such that sphere, disk, and wheel are different. We can see this in this next slide. Here you can see that the sphere, if the body is in the shape of sphere, its angular momentum is 2 pi f into 2 by 5 mr square, because moment of inertia is 2 by 5 mr square. But if it is in the form of a disk, its moment of inertia changes to 1 by 2 mr square. If it is in the form of a wheel, it is given by mr square. Okay, so angular momentum of a body depends on its mass, shape, and the distribution of mass about the axis of rotation. Okay, now angular momentum conservation. The angular momentum is conserved when no external forces are acting on the system. If there is no torque or external forces acting on the system, the angular momentum is conserved. For example, the planets are orbiting the sun in elliptical paths. Okay, they speeds up as they approach the sun and slows away from it. This is Kepler's law of planetary motion. You can find out its reason behind it is the angular momentum conservation. That means angular momentum of a planet is proportional to its velocity and the perpendicular distance from the sun. Okay, we already learned it. Angular momentum is given by mvr. R is the distance to the planet from the sun. So, if the sun is nearest to the sun, the planet is nearest to the sun, then what happens? This R is small. So, in order to conserve the angular momentum, its velocity should increase. Okay, so if the planet approaches the sun, its velocity increases, and if it moves away from the sun, its velocity decreases. This is for conserving angular momentum. Okay, another effect is in the case of riding bicycle. If you learn to ride bicycle without falling, you make use of angular momentum conservation there, because the angular momentum of the spinning wheel is perpendicular to the plane of the wheel. Due to the conservation law, its direction is conserved. Okay, so the riding bicycle without falling is a consequence of angular momentum conservation. Another one is rotating ice skater. That if he spreads his arms out during fast spin, he slows down immediately. When he folds his arm to his chest, then he revolves faster. Why it happens? Because the mass distribution about his axis of rotation varies when he extends his arms. Okay, once he extends his arms, mass distribution with respect to the axis is different. Similarly, if he folds his arms, the mass distribution about the axis is different. That is why he is getting different speeds. Okay. Now, angular momentum can be defined for a body traveling in a straight line also. In that case, we have to find out the angular momentum with respect to a point which is perpendicular to its direction of motion. For example, if suppose we rotate a string by tying with a stone, after a time span of rotation, this string breaks and the stone moves away. Then the stone moves along a straight line. Now you can find out its angular momentum with respect to the center of rotation, because this center of rotation is center point is perpendicular to its motion, straight line motion. There you can find out its angular momentum. That's one of the example for angular momentum of a body moving along a straight line. Okay. Now these are all classical examples. Now we want to check what is angular momentum in quantum mechanics. Okay. In quantum mechanics, the state of the atoms, molecular, nuclear, or microscopic systems are characterized by energy and angular momentum. Because you already learned about equations of motion, there you see that it's the operator del square operator can be written in terms of angular momentum operator also. Okay, so in another way we can say that the state Hamiltonian operator and the angular momentum operator, or energy and angular momentum. Angular momentum has a natural basic unit. It is h cross. Okay, h cross. That is 1.0545 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. And this angular momentum is quantized also. This quantization is valid for macroscopic bodies as well. But h cross is small number, so its effect is manifested only in microscopic scales. Okay, all these things you know very well, but just for your just for remembering, we will discuss all these things. Now we can compare the concepts of Bohr model and quantum mechanics. As all of you know, Bohr model is a semi-classical method, right? So, in the case of Bohr model, it predicted the angular momentum of an electron revolving around a nucleus as L is equal to NH cross, where this N is 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, angular momentum is an integral multiple of H cross. H cross is the basic unit of angular momentum. At the same time, when we deals with quantum mechanics, the Schrodinger equation predicted the angular momentum such that L is equal to root of L into L plus 1 h cross. Okay, here L can take values 0, 1, 2, etc. Okay, now what happens in the context of Schrodinger equation of quantum mechanics? The angular momentum is not an integral multiple of h cross. It's not necessary, it has to be integral multiple of h cross. Okay, this quantization is valid for all bodies, but it is such a small quantity which is observable for microscopic scales, because h cross is very small, of the order of 10 raised to minus 34. So its quantization is uh, mm, great effect only for microscopic bodies. Okay, the other difference you can see here, in the case of Bohr model, there is an electron revolving around a nucleus, so there is no chance for zero angular momentum. But in the case of Schrodinger equation, there can be zero angular momentum. Okay, now space quantization. What is space quantization? Direction of angular momentum has certain limitations in space. That means if you apply some magnetic field or electric field which can influence the angular momentum, it can fix a axis in the space. Okay, then the projection of angular momentum along this axis is quantized. It has certain particular directions. That is known as space quantization. Okay, this projection is an integral multiple of h cross. That means Lz. We use this axis as z-axis and written this as Lz. Okay, Lz is equal to nh cross. This is an integral multiple of h cross, but angular momentum is itself is not an integer. Root of L into L plus 1 h cross. Okay, Lz is an integral multiple of h cross. Okay. Now, orbital angular momentum of the electron in an hydrogen atom can be zero. But in the classical concept or semi-classical approach, Bohr model never allowed this type of orbital angular momentum. But Schrodinger equation allowed zero orbital angular momentum. Now we will discuss about spin angular momentum. As all of you know, all the particles have intrinsic property known as spin angular momentum. It can be 0, 1 by 2, 1, 3 by 2, etc. Integer or non-integer. But always this is also in the units of h cross, because spin is also angular momentum. Okay, and if the projection of the spin s is along applied magnetic field has 2s plus 1 states. If the spin is 0, only one state. If the spin s equal to 1 by 2, then there are 2 states. If this s equal to 1, there are 3 states, etc. Okay. The difference between consecutive projections is h cross. This is valid for both orbital angular momentum and spin angular momentum. Okay. Similarly, law of conservation of angular momentum is valid for spin as well. Now we will discuss certain examples. One of the example is pair production. Okay, here, as all of you know, the photons converted into electron-positron pair. So the spin of the photon is 1. Therefore, the spins of electron and positrons are 1 by 2, such that its total spin is 1. Okay. Similarly, the decay of spin 0 particle into 2 particles. For example, we will discuss about positive pion decay. In that case, positive pion decays into mu plus and nu mu. Nu mu represent mu neutrino. Okay, here the product particles have spin half in opposite directions so that total spin is 0. Here the spin is 0, so here these spins have opposite direction plus half and minus half, so that if you add these spins altogether it is conserved. This is 0. Okay. Another property is in the case of integral spin 1, 2, 3, etc. A particle can decay into two particles each of zero spin. In this case, these particles revolve one another or moves on parallel straight lines. In these cases, the spin angular momentum is converted into orbital angular momentum. Now, what is the symmetry behind this angular momentum conservation? The space is symmetric with respect to rotations. That is, physical laws are same if we rotate the coordinate system. There is no preferred direction in space. These are the symmetry considerations with the angular momentum conservation. Okay. Now we will discuss the second conservation law, charge conservation. In this case, the charge conservation states that the electric charge is neither be created nor destroyed. The charge is created in equal amounts of positive and negative charge in a reaction, so that the total charge in the universe is a constant. Okay, so in the case of reactions, the total charge before reaction must be equal to total charge after the reaction. Electric charge is also quantized. It is an integral multiple of the basic unit of charge. This can be positive, negative, or zero. Electronic charge is the basic unit. Okay. This charge conservation is an example for counting rules. Now we will check certain examples here also. The first one is the collision of two protons. You can see that P plus P represent two protons gives proton plus neutron plus pi plus pi plus pi minus. Now what we get here, the sum of charges on both sides is 2. Before the collision, two protons are there. There is total charge 2e. Okay, in basic units of charge it is 2. When you add in this side, here charge is plus 1, but a neutron has 0 charge. Here plus 1, here plus 1, here minus 1. Okay, this plus 1 and minus 1 cancels out, there is 0. Then here plus 1 and plus 1 together you get here 2. Okay, so the total charge before the reaction is equal to the total charge after the reaction. Okay, another reaction is the pi minus plus proton gives lambda 0 plus k 0. Here the sum of charges on either side is 0. Okay, here is also you can see that in this reaction charge is conserved. If the charge is not conserved in a reaction, it is impossible. Now its after effect, its impact. The stability of the electron is direct consequence of charge conservation, because the electron is the lightest particle which has charge. The particles which are lighter than the electrons are neutrinos and photons, but these are not charged. So electrons cannot decay spontaneously without breaking the law of conservation of charge. Okay, that is why electron is stable. Now the symmetry principle behind this is electromagnetic equations are independent of the 0 point of the electric potential. Okay. Now I think we can conclude the lecture now. In this lecture we learned about angular momentum conservation, its impact, orbital angular momentum, spin angular momentum, difference in Bohr model and quantum mechanics, and symmetry considerations. And in the second law, conservation of charge, impact and symmetry. Okay. So learn well. Thank you.